What is going on, Pats Nation? It's your boy Colby, also known as Patriots Global, back here with another one, doing an emergency live stream here because something happened today that, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I did not have it on my bingo card, okay? And when the news broke, I was asleep. And I looked at my phone because it started to go off. I was starting to get spammed, and I was like, yo, who is calling me right now? Who's texting me right now? And it's just several sources saying that Joe Milton is being traded. And I thought for a good hour, maybe even 2 hours, that I just took a little bit too much melatonin the night prior, because there is absolutely no way the New England Patriots are trading Joe Milton right now, let alone trading him for what they are. So for those who do not know, the New England Patriots are trading quarterback Joe Milton, who's heading into his second year in the NFL, to the Dallas Cowboys in exchange for a 2025 fifth-round draft pick. That's it. There's nothing on top of that. The Patriots are simply trading Joe Milton away for a fifth-round draft pick. On top of that, the Dallas Cowboys are not just getting Joe Milton. The Dallas Cowboys are also getting draft capital from the Patriots on top of Joe Milton. So you're telling me that the best offer we could get was a fifth-round pick, and we have to give up draft capital on top of giving him away? How does that make sense? It doesn't. What this move screams to me is that the Patriots are trying to do right by Joe Milton. That's what this is. Because according to Jordan Schultz, he says, and I quote, "My understanding is since Joe Milton became available at the start of the offseason, teams that showed interest included the Raiders, the Eagles, the Giants, the Steelers, and the Cowboys." He also goes on to say, and I quote, "The Patriots had a better offer. The Patriots had a better offer for Milton, but chose to send him where he wanted out of respect for him," per sources. Look, I don't want to be one of those organizations. I don't want to be known as one of those organizations that does wrong by players. But this is football. This is a business. And if the Patriots are going to be a good organization, they cannot go out and send players where players want to go. If players are going to dictate what this team does, this team is never going to be good. That's why this team was not good last year. Because Gerard Mayo, Elliott Wolf, they did not know how to be strict, how to be stern, and how to put their foot down. Look, I get it. Joe Milton is a good quarterback. Joe Milton has potential. But that was the point in drafting Joe Milton. Okay? And that's what I want to make here clear, is that Joe Milton was never the future of the New England Patriots. A lot of Patriots fans got it overblown. A lot of Patriots fans liked what they saw in the preseason, liked what they saw when he beat the Bills in week 18 of this past year. And Patriots fans thought, well, he's fun to watch. He's better than Drake May. He's not. That was never the case. But the point in the Patriots drafting Joe Milton just last year in the 2024 NFL draft in the 6th round was to flip him for a better pick. And yeah, technically the Patriots did that, but you could have gotten him for better. Jordan Schultz literally told us that the Patriots had a better offer. The Patriots could have waited. And I'm sure down the road, a year from now, maybe even 2 years from now, the Patriots could have gotten a 3rd or 2nd round pick. And I see Ricky coming in here saying, oh, star quarterback, please. I'm not saying that he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but Joe Milton has the potential to be a star quarterback. Okay? And if you don't see that, I can't help you. This is bad for business. Okay? I'm okay with trading Joe Milton. I want that to be clear. I'm perfectly fine with the New England Patriots getting rid of him. because, again, he's not going to be the future. The point in drafting him was to ship him off for better draft capital later on down the road that you could use to surround Drake May. The point is to flip that 6th-round draft pick for a 4th, a 3rd, at best a 2nd-round draft pick, and use that high-end draft capital that you're hoping to get a top 100 draft pick for to then build around Drake May. And less than a year after drafting him, we're shipping him off for a 5th-round draft pick while also sending off a 7th-round draft pick just to do right by him. I'm sorry, but I was somebody who believed that if the Patriots did not get a 3rd-round pick or better, you don't trade Joe Milton, because the Patriots don't have to trade Joe Milton. And I look at it, and I look at the Dallas Cowboys. You wanted to do right by him, but Joe Milton's going to the Dallas Cowboys to serve in essentially the same role he is right now. Now, there's rumors that maybe, just maybe, the Dallas Cowboys could trade Dak Prescott. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't see it happening. Rumors are that he could go to the Browns, but again, I don't see that happening. Right now, all we can go by is the facts. And the facts is that Dak Prescott is the starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. He's one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL, and Joe Milton is going there to be the backup quarterback. It's the same purpose he would have had here in 2025 for the New England Patriots. He would have been the backup quarterback to Drake May, or at least one of the backup quarterbacks to Drake May. So if the Patriots didn't get the offer that they liked, they should have simply kept him on the roster, put more film of Joe Milton out there, and then traded him later. I don't understand why they decided to trade him now when his value, I don't want to say his value is at the lowest per se, but his value is not at the highest. There are teams that are going to get significantly more desperate come August, come beginning of September, come the beginning of the season, come late October, come the trade deadline. That's when you trade Joe Milton, when teams start to get desperate. It feels that the Patriots didn't care about getting the best value out of Joe Milton. They didn't stick by the plan of the reasoning on why they originally drafted Joe Milton. They said, this guy actually plays good football. This guy is better than we thought. This guy is better than the entire league thought. He can be a starting quarterback in the NFL, but he's never going to be a starting quarterback for the New England Patriots. So we might as well go ahead, ship him off to an organization, to another team that he has a chance at starting with because we believe in him. They allow their personal feelings to get in the way rather than saying, this is, again, a business, and you have star potential at the most important position in football and arguably the most important position in sports. And instead of waiting and getting much better draft capital, they said, no, we're going to do what Joe Milton wants. I hate this trade. I hate this trade for the Patriots. I think purposely doing what your players want instead of doing what's best for the team is exactly what leads to teams being bad. But real quick, I do want to give a massive shout out to our members here on the channel here at Patriots Global. We already have about 5 people that have signed up to be members here on the channel, and I want to make sure you guys get your kudos because you guys are supporting the channel tremendously. Shout out to McGoat, shout out to Luke, shout out to Aaron, shout out to Luz Marina, and shout out to Gerald, for all becoming YouTube members. You guys now have access to exclusive emojis in the chat already. You also get the Patriots Global logo next to your name every single time you guys comment in the comment section, on videos, on community posts, on shorts, on live streams. And of course, on top of that, you guys get priority reply to comments during live streams and in videos. The cool thing is that when you become a member on YouTube, YouTube will actually separate all the comments and then comments by members. So it's a lot easier to reply to members. So if you guys want to support the channel, get some exclusive benefits by doing so, make sure to hit that join button and become a member. But I also want to give a massive shout out here to Trey, who comes in with the $5 donation and says, I apologize for being out of line with this. But at point, I'm convinced kids on the short bus could do a better job at running the front office. Damn, Trey. That is that's one. That's one. I got to be careful of my words here, but that is definitely a way to put it. I understand it. I don't want to come off like an a-hole here, being like, oh, you're doing right by one of your players. What in God's name are you doing? But the Patriots are not in a position where they can be giving up high-end draft capital. Now, again, Jordan Schultz says here the Patriots had a better offer for him, but he does not say what that offer was. Did the Patriots get a fourth-round offer and they said, we're going to stick with the fifth round instead? Maybe. We don't know how significantly different that offer was going to be. But what I'm saying is that because of how bad this roster is, because the Patriots are still rebuilding this team, they could have used that fourth round pick, that third round pick, whatever it might have been, and gotten a player of much better caliber, or even traded down and gotten several more draft picks to help rebuild this team. Again, I like Joe Milton. Joe Milton is a guy that I think could very well be a star. But we're just not in the position to constantly be doing right by players, to be giving up draft capital. Again, if the Patriots would have just waited a few months, I think teams would have gotten more desperate. Again, you look at the teams that were interested in him. Trade him to the Raiders. I guarantee you that, first off, the Raiders pick is higher than the Cowboys. Second off, I mean, yeah, they have Geno. They signed Geno to a 2-year extension today. So what that tells me is that they decided that they were going to extend Geno when they realized that they were out on the Joe Milton sweepstakes. I guarantee you their offer would have been better than the Dallas Cowboys. He would have had a better chance to be the future there in Las Vegas. Why not send him to the Raiders? The Eagles, that never made sense. The Giants have a better pick than the Dallas Cowboys. Why didn't you trade him there? They do not have a future at quarterback. That would have made a ton of sense. The Steelers, they need their future at quarterback. That would have made a ton of sense. I just don't totally understand why it was the Dallas Cowboys. And I think the Patriots need to learn to separate their emotional feelings and emotional attachment to a player and then what is best for business. Because there has to be some type of middle ground. Simply only doing what the player wants because you believe in him doesn't help. Shout out to my boy, Brandon Flores. Brandon, I feel like I haven't seen you in ages. Comes in with a $2 donation. Says, hey, Bay, I 100% agree with you, Colby. It's stupid. And again, I want to make this clear, is that the Patriots are doing the right thing by trading Joe Milton. Like, I saw a lot of people in the comments say, why are we trading him? He's our future at quarterback. He was never the future at quarterback. It's just that is the Elliott Wolf way. Ron Wolf, who is Elliott Wolf's father, he's one of the best general managers of all time. He was the general manager for the Packers back in the day. His philosophy was to draft a quarterback in the mid to late rounds every single year, because if you hit on that quarterback, you can develop that quarterback, then ultimately you can flip that 7th, 6th, 5th round draft pick for better. And again, the Patriots flipping a 6th round draft pick for a 5th round draft pick on top of having to give a 7th with that, it just feels like the purpose of drafting Joe Milton went down the drain. Because the purpose was to get hopefully a top 100 pick, was to use that pick to build your team up. And a 5th round draft pick, you only have so many good players in the 5th round. But I also wanted to see what you guys had to say about this. So let me know what you guys thought in the comment section. Dude, if you actually think that report is true, then I have a bridge to sell you. You mean the report coming from Jordan Schultz? One of the most reliable reporters in the game? You're telling me that if I believe the report that he put out, then I'm stupid? 100%, I believe the Patriots had a better offer for Joe Milton. 100%. Because we also heard a few months ago when rumors came out that the Patriots could trade Joe Milton, we had heard that the Patriots, they want to do right by him. That the Patriots aren't going to ship him off to the best call that comes. They want to make sure that they trade Joe Milton to a place that Milton wants to be and a place that he can succeed because they believe in him. So that backs up the report of Jordan Schultz that the Patriots could have had better offers, that they did have better offers, but they decided to trade him somewhere that he wanted to go, even though they were going to get significantly less. I personally don't understand how anybody can be happy with the compensation that the Patriots are getting back here. If you're a Dallas Cowboys fan watching, though, and you're wondering what you're getting with Joe Milton, now, Joe Milton was drafted in the 6th round by the New England Patriots just last year. He was a guy that definitely fell more than people thought. I had more of a 5th round projection on him. He's a guy that on tape in college showed that he could be a 1st round pick, but he was so inconsistent, and that is why he was projected to be a 5th, because he had all the intangibles. He had the arm strength. He has arguably the best arm strength out of any quarterback in the National Football League. But what makes a good quarterback is not the best arm, the biggest arm in the league. At least part of what makes a good quarterback is the mental side and being consistent. Can you consistently put the ball where it needs to be, when it needs to be? And that's what Joe Milton was not able to do. Now, I do think that he developed really, really well with his lower body, with his mechanics, with his footwork under Alex Van Pelt throughout training camp. I think that we saw mechanically a different quarterback during the offseason this past year than we did Joe Milton while he was at college. So I do think he has developed, but we haven't seen enough from Joe Milton in game to say that he is now a consistent quarterback. We saw Joe Milton for a few quarters in the preseason, and he looked really good in that first preseason game. But then in the second preseason game, he started to come back down to earth a little bit more. His passes were inconsistent. He was soaring passes over guys' heads. It was also, of course, the preseason. You got to put that caveat on it. Joe Milton is that type of quarterback that he has such a strong arm, he wants to push the ball downfield. But in the NFL, you can't always push the ball downfield. Every team wants big plays. They want to push the ball downfield. You got to learn when to take the short to intermediate passes. Learn when to take the check down. And that's where Joe Milton also struggles. Joe Milton also struggles with being able to adequately and effectively deliver a check down pass, because he can launch a ball 90 yards downfield, but when he's checking the ball, 3-4 yards down the field, he's also going to throw that same 90-yard bomb to the check down. So that's one of the bigger problems with Joe Milton is he has to understand velocity on the football. He has to understand, okay, this is how much oomph I got to put on a football if it's short, intermediate, and deep. But it really comes back down to those inconsistencies. He's athletic, and we saw that against the Buffalo Bills week 18 of this past season. Now, caveat, the Buffalo Bills rested the majority of their starters. So it was essentially a preseason game. It was against 2s and 3s. We've never seen Joe Milton at the NFL level play against starters, play against starting caliber defenses in the league. So that's also going to be one of the biggest questions. But he has two of the biggest things that quarterbacks need to succeed in today's generation of the NFL. He has a strong arm that can push the ball down the field. He can fit the ball into any window, the tightest of windows out there, and he's also athletic. He can be mobile. He can run if he needs to. He can escape the pocket. He can throw on the run. It all comes down to, can the Dallas Cowboys get the best out of him in terms of consistency? If they can help him be consistent, they can say, hey, these are the different types of throws you need to make in these types of different scenarios, then I think Joe Milton can be a starting quarterback in the league. Is he going to be a top 3 quarterback? Top 5? I don't know about all that, but I do think that Joe Milton can be an average to, slightly above average quarterback in the NFL. It all just depends on how the Dallas Cowboys develop him from here on out. But he has all the intangibles that if you're cooking up a quarterback in a lab, Joe Milton is the guy that would come out. Want to get into some of your guys' comments here and pull them up. You're lucky to get anything before he proves he isn't worth anything. Shout out to Skeletor, longtime supporter of the channel, but I do have to disagree with this one a little bit, just because quarterback is one of those positions where you need them to succeed in the league, right? So anytime a quarterback shows any type of promise, pretty much every single team in the league is interested. And Joe Milton showed that. Joe Milton is also on a rookie contract, which is also extremely valuable for quarterbacks too, right? Like, I'm surprised the San Francisco 49ers were not all in on somebody like Joe Milton. I think that would have made a ton of sense for them. But with quarterbacks making, $50 to $60 million per year, if you can find a guy that shows promise, I mean, you're getting that guy on a rookie deal. That's worth a lot all within itself. I mean, it's not even that starting quarterbacks have value, but backup quarterbacks have so much value too. How many teams are looking for a starting quarterback in the league? How many teams are looking for a quality backup quarterback in this league? There's more than you'd think. And you can get good value for a quality backup quarterback too. Like, there are backup quarterbacks in this league that can go for 4th-round draft picks. And that sounds insane to people because you have the best running backs being traded for like 2nd and 3rd round picks, but you have to understand positional value. You cannot look at talent, just pure talent. You have to look at positional value. And because quarterback is one of those positions where it can change the trajectory of your team if you hit on it, even if a guy isn't proven, even if he showed that he has the intangibles, he's young, he's developing, and teams see that this guy might not be perfect, he might not have it all together yet, but he's still young and he's showing promise, less than 1 year still in the league, teams are going to give up draft capital for that. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a 2nd-round draft pick. I've also seen Patriots fans saying, well, Jimmy Garoppolo got traded for a 2nd-round draft pick. Why could Joe Milton not get traded for a 2nd-rounder? There are different situations, okay? We're comparing apples to oranges. Jimmy Garoppolo, first off, was still under the New England Patriots famous regime where they were going to Super Bowls and whatnot. So that already helped the Patriots situation in and of itself. On top of that, he was learning under Bill Belichick. He was learning under Tom Brady. He had been in the league for multiple years. He had multiple preseason games of film out there. He also had started in NFL games before when Tom Brady was suspended. So that's what's different about the Jimmy Garoppolo situation to Joe Milton. But again, the Patriots getting a 5th-round draft pick just, to me, feels absolutely disrespectful. They shouldn't have jumped on it. And again, there's no reason the Patriots had to jump on this right now. Unless Joe Milton was going out there complaining, saying, yeah, I need to be traded right now. You need to trade me. I'm not coming to practice. I'm not participating. I'm not traveling with the team unless you trade me. Then, okay, then I would understand why the Patriots traded him right now. But other than that, as long as he wasn't forcing their hand, they didn't need to trade him. If they didn't get the offer they liked, he's still on their rookie deal. A lot of teams carry 3 quarterbacks on the active roster. It's not abnormal. The Patriots could have kept him until they got the offer they liked. They could have kept him and said, we're going to wait till the trade deadline. We're going to wait this out till roster cutdowns. We're going to wait till next offseason, try to get more film of Joe Milton out there and push this up to a 4th or 3rd round draft pick at worst. The Patriots had no reason that they had to trade him. They just decided that they were going to let their personal feelings get in between a business decision. And hopefully this bodes well for the Patriots down the road. Again, I think they could have gotten a 4th or a 3rd round draft pick in return for him. But I hope that this helps the Patriots down the line in a different sense. And what I mean by that is, yes, you're not getting as good draft capital, but maybe there will be players, free agents, veterans, guys who are coming in through the draft, UDFAs, who are seeing the type of atmosphere that is being built in New England. They're seeing that Elliot Wolf and Mike Vrabel, they care about the players and that they're going to put the players first. And if external players see that, free agents see that, they might see this and say, I want to be in a place like New England, because right now nobody wants to be in New England. That's been a problem for the Patriots over the last few years, is acquiring good players, because players don't want to be in New England. Maybe if they send this message out there that we care about you, we're going to treat you like a human, we're not going to treat you like a chess piece, maybe that'll get more players to want to be here down the road. But that's a big what if. And unfortunately, we're not going to know that for a few years down the line. All in all, guys, we do have to wrap this up. I got Draftaholics starting here in 2 minutes over on Roundtable Sports main YouTube channel. Come on over. We're doing another mock draft for the AFC South and the NFC South, a 3-round mock draft. So if you guys want to learn about some prospects, go to Roundtable Sports YouTube channel, and we are doing Draftaholics here in about 2 minutes. Like I said, I'm not upset that the New England Patriots traded Joe Milton. I'm upset with what they got in return for him, and I'm upset with when they traded him. On top of that, with reports coming out that they had better offers for him, but they decided to neglect that, take a worse offer so that Milton could go where he wanted. It just, to me, does not scream like a great business decision for a team that is still rebuilding and needs a lot of help left on their roster. But this is where I kick it to you guys. What are your thoughts on Joe Milton being traded? Do you like it? Do you not like it? How do you feel about the compensation? What would you have done different? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video on your way out. And of course, subscribe to the channel for all your New England Patriots news. I know that this one was shorter. I know that this one wasn't as well put together. This was kind of a breaking news, last second. Let's just hop on real quick and break down everything we know about this situation, get the news out for the people. So we'll have more videos coming for you guys over the next few days, another live stream this weekend. But as always, I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Shout out again to all of our current members of the YouTube channel. You guys are supporting us so much, and I'm so glad that you have joined the PG family. If you guys want to join the PG family, get benefits, support the channel, it's only $4 a month. Make sure you hit that join button. It would support me tremendously. But of course, as always, appreciate you guys for watching, and stay safe. Thank you.